This year's the year where if you get into postseason, it kind of reminds me of 17 a little bit. Do you agree?
I agree. I mean, it is wide open. And you can see that by every week. You know, what about Arizona yesterday?
Beat by the Lions.
I mean,
down.
I'm going, are you kidding me?
He's down.
But it's that kind of a year. It's a strange year.
Welcome back. National Football Show. Dan Sileo. I wanted to know who the mayor of Philadelphia was, and I think I have a good understanding now who the mayor of Philadelphia is. And he's this guy here. He's JAKIB. let me tell you who the mayor is here, okay? So I had Seth Joyner on last week, and I'm talking about some of these other guys. He goes, wait a minute, man. You know JAKIB? That was my mentor. He took me under his wing, and when no one else wanted to, he took me under his wing and showed me what it was about to be a pro. I said, you know what, too, man? Mike Quick is coming on Wednesday this week, too. And Quick goes like this. Well, I wouldn't come on your show, Sileo, unless JAKIB gave the wave. I said, this guy's like the Pope, not the Pope of Greenwich Village, man. This guy's the Pope of Philly, man. Hey, they love you in that town, man. Way to go, Gary.
Well, those are a couple of my good teammates, you know, while I was up here. And, of course, you know Jerome and the way Jerome, his personality and everything. We had a really close team. And a lot of those guys, you know, when I came back here and I was working in the media, you know, I'm rooting for these guys, man. You know, it hurt me when they lost. Oh, man, I'm going like, I got to do this show now. And I'm hurting, you know, because I feel like I was playing in the game because, you know, I remember Seth when he was really played defensive line in college. He was learning the linebacker position and everything. And with all of the young guys, you know, I always liked working with guys, especially guys who were committed. And Seth took his game up to a level. I mean, really, Seth had a Hall of Fame level career, man. You see what Micah Parsons is doing. Seth was an all-round linebacker. I mean, he was a great cover guy, studied the game, and I listen to him now. I'm going like, man, you know, because he really put the time in, and you know, I just take my hat off to the kind of player he became. Was really, I really felt good every time I see him play, man. I'm enjoying it because, you know, he's like a brother of mine, you know, and you really root for guys, you know, and like I said, I'm in the media and I can't say everything I want to say because, you know, I got to talk about their game. But, man, I'm going like I come after some of the games, man. I felt like I'm in the locker room and we just lost. And now I got to talk to these people about it and be entertaining when I was hurting. But Seth, great guy, man, great player. And just can't say enough about him and Quick. Well, you know what happened with Quick? Doggone it, I'm ashamed to say it, but I had to run into this out coverage where I had to pick up Quick on the out route. And inside I'm going, they're throwing this out. And I didn't turn around. Sucker caught a touchdown on that play, man. And I'm still going, why didn't I turn around? The ball was right there, you know. But so Quick, you know, he jabs me about it at times, but you know, great guys. I mean, just good people. And of course, you know, all of our buddy Jerome, he was like the mixer, man. He was he just built a real good family type of atmosphere. We were really close. That was a really close group, man. I'm telling you. And
no, get this. I tell people, Gary, I tell people about Jerome. I say, if you want a football version of Charles Barkley, that's who Jerome was. He had that personality. And Seth goes, I miss him to this day. And I'm sitting there going, and I told my wife, I go, hey, look, man, I had Seth Joyner on. My wife looked over at me and she goes, that dude brought the wood, didn't he? I go, yes, he did, honey.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. I mean, and you know, I was saying about what an all-round linebacker.
Yeah.
Great coverage guy, great blitzer, great against the run, and he understood the game, see? And that was the great thing that I really take my hat off to Seth is he took the mental part of the game, he really advanced. And when I was talking to him during his rookie year and second year and things, I had no idea this guy is going to turn into a monster, man. And he really, I just amazed at the level of player he was, because he was all-around linebacker, outstanding in every area. And
absolutely,
I just feel good about just seeing him play and the career he had. And he really should be in the Hall of Fame with the numbers he put up as a linebacker, with sacks, interceptions, everything. Big play guy, smart player, man. Smart linebacker, So he took some of the things I taught him. He took it to a whole nother level, man. Great player. It made me feel good every time I see him go out on the field, man.
Yeah, what a great football player. All right, let's get into this moving of the game here by the NFL here. How does the change in routine, Gary, take these players away from concentration on, we all know this. The one thing that I learned about the game of football from you and from Ed Jones, I've told you this before. I watched you and Ed Jones walk into a locker room, and you guys had everything strategically done. 3:15, I'm here. 3:26, I'm getting taped. I'm here. This is Tuesday. This is Thursday. You guys got into a routine. How much does that affect a team when you start to take those routines away from coaches and players, especially when we're talking about a game tomorrow, which is really a playoff game for the Eagles?
That's right. Those things are important. You start talking about the familiarity with things. You kind of get into a groove where you do things a certain time and there's a confidence in it. And so that is part of a player, especially a veteran player, who understands and he sees things. He's thinking through every part of the game as he's doing different things. And so he gets into that pattern. And then a lot of times the Mrs. is in the same pattern. She knows, hey, this is when he does this. And you get into that flow and you come out there. What you want is when you step on that field, you're in that groove. You're ready to go, man. And you have looked at all of the detail of what this team does and what they like to do. What do they like to do in different situations? And like we were talking about with Seth, I remember sitting down looking at formations. What does this formation say? What do they like doing out of it? And Buddy taught us some great things. Where Buddy was, but Buddy was quick. But really, the guy that was our linebacker coach was Wade Phillips. And Wade was a great coach. And
did you have Jeff Fisher on that staff
Jeff
also?
Fisher, I played with Jeff Fisher at USC.
So you had Jeff Fisher. Jeff. You had Jeff Fisher.
We used to beat Jeff up.
So you
because Jeff
had Jeff Fisher.
Wide receiver on the scout team. What's that?
You had Jeff Fisher and Wade Phillips and Buddy Ryan in that defensive coaching meetings.
Yes, we did. Wow. And the big thing that Jeff and Wade were doing was this was a young group. We talk about Seth being a part of it. This was a young group, and these guys, and I look back and I said, I probably should have coached because I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed teaching those guys, what they should be looking for, what this formation says to you. What do you see when you see this guy cheated up? This guy's cheated up. What is he trying to tell you? He's trying to tell you something because he's got to get somewhere. So it was fun because they were teachers and I saw them growing up, and I was really old, a veteran, I was kind of, near the end, and I see these guys growing up and you start seeing the potential. And so I started seeing the potential in guys like Seth and everything, but we had, those guys teaching. But so with this game, as a veteran player, you get into the groove, the entire team, when you got an old veteran team that's been used to playing together, they know what the guy next to him is going to do when he sees a certain thing, and you get used to playing off of each other. And that was some of the fun when you get around a veteran group. And I had that a great deal when I was in Detroit. We had a good defensive line with Al Baker and Doug English and those guys. And I was one of the linebackers with a guy, Ken Fantetti.
Oh yeah,
was one of the linebackers, and we had a good group, real good defense. But we got used to each other. We knew and that's what you get into, where you have things where you don't even have to look over here to find out. This guy's sitting right over here. You know where everybody's at. You know what he's going to attack, what he's not going to attack. And the Eagles are trying to get there, to get into that place where they know each other. But you got some of the veterans. I mean, you do have guys who are veterans like Fletcher Cox and those guys. They know the ropes, and they're trying to show the other guys. But when you playing on a Tuesday, it's strange.
Yeah, it's players' day off.
It's the players' day off. That's right. And the guys that it messes up the most, Dan, are the older guys.
Yeah.
Because the younger guys, they're still learning the ropes. They haven't gotten in the groove, but the older guys are in the groove, and they're used to playing on Sunday.
That's right.
And then now to play on Tuesday.
They need more recovery because now they have 3 games coming up in 13 days. You know what? And like you said, Gary, I mean, you're an older veteran guy. Yeah. Those 3 games, and they're divisional games.
That's right.
You're talking like a lot of strain on players here over the next 13 days. So
you're a veteran guy. You're hurting, man.
Yeah.
No doubt. There's no doubt, because when you first come in the league, you feel like you could play every day. But then after a while, that second year, third year, you realize you got limitations. And you need those days. And eventually you get near the end, you need all those days. And then you eventually get to the point where you really haven't totally recovered. You know?
No.
And so you got to play. And so the older guys, they're gonna hurt some during this stretch. They're gonna feel it because they're not gonna get all that time to rest. But I will say this, and I emphasize this as I was coaching this team, fellas. If you're looking for sympathy, it's in the dictionary, okay? Because now this is our job to talk about. Yeah,
right.
The NFL did the job on these guys, but those players, I better not hear nothing. I don't want to hear anything for the rest until we play this game. I don't want to see any tweets. I don't want to hear anybody say anything. You get ready to play, because if you don't do the job, there are no excuses. Don't want to hear it. So they got to get in that mentality. Of course, we can talk about the fact that, hey, I thought you said we're going to play the season. You said nothing was going to happen. You're going to play the season. Why aren't we playing the season? Why are we switching games? Hey, there are other people that have had people out. Why are we taking care of Washington? Why are we taking care of, who is it? You got Cleveland, Washington, and who else?
Seattle, Minnesota.
And Seattle. Hey, look. Other people have missed games. Other people have had key players out. Why all of a sudden we're going to change things for those guys? And, that's the way I feel about it. But as a player, if I'm the coach, if I hear one guy say something about how you feel sorry or this, whatever, hey, I'll sit your behind down, because we got to get ready to play. They're not going to be feeling sorry for us. Get ready to play. Simple as that. So you got 2 situations. Of course, we talk about it. Those guys, if I saw a tweet, I find them. You tweet, I see you tweeting about,
it's Tuesday.
They screwed us or whatever.
Nobody cares. But Gary, I do want to throw this at you here.
Yeah.
So get this, man. So now the NFL's new guidelines, and for everyone out there, Gary will know what I'm talking about. Back in the day, we used to call head injuries stingers.
Yes.
And if you put your hand up, they would take you out, but nobody ever put their hand up. So
That's
now
right.
with these new COVID rules, they've done this, Gary. Well, if you're showing symptoms, we want you to come to us and tell us that maybe you're not feeling good. There won't be a dude in that. We're going back to 1970, 80s,
right.
and 90s mentality again, where you're leaving it into players' hands. If you're having – those guys aren't going to put their hands up with divisional games on the line.
That's right. They are not going to put
my point is these new COVID rules that they're coming with, you now have walked backwards into the days when, Hey, do you have a concussion? No, I don't have a concussion. It was just a stinger. And you got back in the game. So we walk backwards because they know they don't want to lose any money when it comes to these playoffs.
Well, you hit it on the head. That definitely that is walking things back, and players. In fact, some guys now I have to get on them and tell them, look, you need to go get that checkup with the doctor and whatever. And the guy's back in the football mode, which is, look, I'm fine. Hey, Cobb, man, Lee, come on, man, I'm fine. I said, no, dude, your wife told me you having whatever this. Man, go get that checked out. You go, look, man, Cobb, I told you I'm good, man, I'm good. Now, players say that because as a player, that's the way you play. You get to the point where you don't acknowledge that, and that's what they're gonna get, because guys are not gonna go over there and say, well, I got the sniffles and everything. They want to make some more plays, and some of these guys have been asymptomatic anyway. But
hey, Gary, I got to tell you this, man, so people know. I mean, if you saw my friend Billy Ray Smith, and I know you know who he is. I mean, Billy Ray Smith, get this, he doesn't even know how to get home. I mean, his wife has to be with him at all times. And if he's in a car right now, he struggles on finding his way home right now. All right, let me move on to a better topic here. Watch this one. If this year teaches me anything, here's something else it taught me, Gary. Tom Brady has lost to Tyler Heineke and Taysom Hill now, was shut out at home yesterday.
Yeah.
If the Eagles get in the postseason, I'm telling you, man, I think Green Bay's maybe the best team, but they struggled against a banged-up Ravens team.
Yeah.
And that kid Huntley put a show on yesterday. All I'm saying to you, Gary, is this year's the year where if you get into the postseason, it kind of reminds me of 17 a little bit. Do you agree?
I agree. I mean, it is wide open. And you can see that by every week. What about Arizona yesterday?
Beat by the Lions. Down.
I'm going, are you kidding me?
Beat down.
But it's that kind of a year. It's a strange year. And so you get in the playoffs, you get a team like the Eagles get in, because they can pretty much run the ball on just about anybody. Yeah. And that's the thing. I'm interested to see if they can run the ball against Washington's 5-man front. Washington uses this 5-man front. I really would love to see if the Eagles are able to run the ball against these guys. But with the way that they have been dominant at times, you really would love to see them get in a situation where they get in there. You don't know what's going to happen, man. I know a lot of teams would not want to see them.
No, them and San Francisco.
Yeah, they wouldn't want to see them. You're right, because this is a strange year.
I want to throw you some stats, and watch this. So you tell me what you think of Dak. I'm going to compare him to Carson Wentz here.
Okay.
Got a win over the weekend. They played Patriot football against the Patriots, did the Colts. They're now 8-6. By the way, it's a first-round draft choice. But listen to these numbers here. Dak Prescott's got 3,598 passing yards. Wentz got 3,005. Dak Prescott's got 25 touchdowns to 10 picks. Wentz is 23-6. Dak Prescott has got a 98 quarterback rating. Wentz has a 96 quarterback rating. Wentz has given the ball away 10 times. Dak's given it away 15 times. Now, he's comparable to Dak Prescott. Is it so that Dak is not an elite guy, or is it so that Carson Wentz is actually playing a good year? Where do you fall? Is Dak elite? Because these numbers dictate that ain't $42 million if you're looking at Carson Wentz.
Yeah, well, the thing is, in looking at both of them, and I've been checking both of them out all year. Wentz started out slow.
Yes.
Dak started out hot. He was just burning hot. He had a great game against Tampa. He was throwing the ball. He was on the money. He hasn't been on for weeks, and you can see.
It's the running game, Gary. Their running game is nowhere.
Yeah, the running game. I mean, they're really shaky. I mean, their defense was the key to them winning.
Yeah,
and beating. When they played Washington, and also against the Giants, the defense with the turnovers, but their offense is not in sync, and that includes Dak and the running game. Because earlier in the year, I thought Dallas looked like one of the best teams, like the two or three best teams in the NFL.
Yep.
They look like it, and because they could run the ball on you, they could throw the ball, and they didn't even have everybody healthy, you know. So I was saying, like, man, these boys, because Dak was on the money with his throws, the running game, but they lost something, you know.
You think he's elite, Gary?
Is Dak elite?
Yeah.
He was. I mean, he hasn't been playing on that level of late, though.
If you put that guy, Gary, if you put that guy on the open market right now, you think that guy's a $42 million a year guy?
No, I don't think he'll get 42. I don't think he would get 42 million. Still, there's people that would be after him, though, because he has shown he can play at that elite level. He has shown that. Now the whole thing with him is he's fortunate enough to have the defense they have and everything. It's in the playoffs. They'll be there. He's got to get his game back up there, because when they get to the playoffs, he's going to need to play at that elite level if they're going to go on. If they're going to, they're going to go into Green Bay and beat the Packers and, do things like that, or go down to Tampa and beat the Bucks. He's going to need to be at his best, and we'll see if he's able to get back there. They got the weapons, but I don't know about that running game. They got to get healthy. Pollard's has got some time off. If he gets healthy, he can do part of the job, and then you see where Zeke. But it's going to be very interesting. They're going to try to let those guys get fresh by the playoffs. So I wouldn't be surprised if they set some of the guys down.
Gary, I asked this question opening the show, and let me ask you, when you're seeing what's happened here, and by the way, I tell people I don't care how the thing looks. This is not a beauty pageant. Carson Wentz now has the Colts 8-6. He's having a Dak Prescott type year. Yeah, it looks like they may make it to the postseason now if they continue to run the ball.
I think they got a good shot, boy. They really looked good the other night, boy.
Do you think the Eagles made a mistake by moving off of Wentz?
Well, looking back now, it could wind up working out that way. The whole thing is Jalen. The whole thing is, Jalen Hurts. And, Jalen hasn't proven to me that he can make the throws all the time. He hasn't proven that yet. Carson can make them.
Yep.
He's a lot of the reason that there's a Super Bowl here, Super Bowl title. So, he did have a bad year. That's a bad year, though. I mean, a lot of guys have bad years. So it all comes down to, I tell you right now, because he's got a chance. If he were to get into a groove with that running game and the defense they have, they could go to the bowl.
They could go to the AFC Championship game for sure with that formula that they have right now.
Yes, they could go.
They can go to the AFC title game with that. And I'll tell you what, too, Gary.
Yeah.
To me, the Colts would rather have Wentz than the first pick and see that first-round draft choice, wouldn't it?
Well, right now, you got a quarterback who can take you there, because he really took the Eagles there. He didn't really get the credit because he got hurt, but he had them there. He had them there. So that's going to be very fascinating. But they got the pieces in place, and that defense is starting to play. And they got players, man.
They're fast.
That's going to be very interesting to see, what happens. But the Colts are one of the teams with the potential, because they haven't really played their best football. They're starting to now. They could beat anybody.
They remind me of the 49ers. The 49ers run the ball. They're really quick on defense. Mm-hmm. And what I saw what the Colts did to the Patriots, man, they're fast on the perimeter. And you can't break the edges down on them that much, man. Yeah. I mean, Chris Ballard and Frank and all those guys have really done a spectacular job at building that team. Last year, they were inside the top 10 in offense, and they were inside the top 10 in defense. Like you said, they got the formula to make some noise.
They could win it. They do have, because they got talent in all those areas where you got elite players. But the key guy is going to be Carson, because they got the running game. He's got the receivers. Just got to take care of the ball. He can't get too greedy. So he can't get too greedy. And then he's on his game. But Carson's got to know that one thing is, hey, can't get careless with the football.
Yeah.
And if he does that, I mean, he could take him to the dance.
Wow, man.
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't go like, oh, I can't believe they. No, the Colts could be anybody. Come on, who couldn't?
Agreed. I think
they could run. Look what they did to the Patriots. They can run the ball on anybody.
Yeah.
And then you got all these receivers with Carson. If you're trying to stop the run and they're having success on the run, you can't defend the pass and shut them down like that. Carson just take care of the ball. They could beat anybody, and they got a good defense. And you see, they got that defense up front where they got some boys up there can take it over. So
they sure do, man.
That's the fun when you see a team like that. That could be really fascinating to see them really make a run for it.
Absolutely. Garry, man, awesome conversation. I'll tell Quick Six on Wednesday, man. You said hi, man. I'll tell you what, Seth loves you, man. We all love you, man. I told Seth goes like this. I go, Seth, man, are you kidding me? Garry Cobb in my town? Holy cow. Man, I used to look at that right tech roof. I go, man, that guy hit a baseball up that high. He was a legend in that place, man. So, Garry, thank you so much, brother. We'll catch you next week, man.
Good deal. Have a good one.
Hey, happy holidays. You bet, man. That's my friend Garry Cobb. So wait a minute. Did I just hear Garry Cobb say that Carson Wentz can lead the Colts to the Super Bowl? Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What if Carson Wentz leads that team to the Super Bowl? Holy shit. Hey, by the way, I know some of you guys have a massive hatred for this guy. Boozer says, no way Wentz is going to the Super Bowl. Sills, Wentz requested to be traded. That doesn't mean shit to me, man. So did Aaron Rodgers. Alexander says Eagle Nation would lose their shit if that guy – I think they would lose their shit if he gets to the AFC title game. Sills, Wentz requested to leave. It was Howie's fault. Harlem, Dak can lead the Cowboys to the – hey, man, Dak ain't having that much better of a year than Carson Wentz. He's not. And – Carson plays in a tougher division. Dak plays in the worst division in football. Holy cow. Hey guys, Wentz leading his team to the Super Bowl. We will definitely talk more about Eagles and Washington. Wow. I want to talk about Brady being a bad sport. I actually love it. I want to hit on that too, man. All right, guys, do me a favor. Pound that like button. You guys have been great. That was a fast first hour. Holy cow. Garry Cobb says that he could lead the team to the Super Bowl. Holy cow. By the way, Mike Quick is scheduled to join us on Wednesday, so that'll be after the Tuesday game. So, holy cow. Hey, X, I know he did. Who cares? They won the game. Okay? Who cares? 57 yards, I don't care if it's 2 yards. Did you win the game? Did you win the and they beat the Patriots. And they beat New England. I'll tell you what, they got a hell of a defense in Indy too, man. I like that. I love that, actually. So wait a minute, guys. Real quick here. Tom Brady got beat by Taysom Hill this year and Tyler Heineke. I still can't register that. Please hit the like button. Hour 2 coming up. We're going to get right back to you guys, man. You keep it right here on the National Football Show.